Recently in the United States, 3 former Twitter executives, fired by Elon Musk, and rightly so, by the way, they were hauled in front of Congress or the Senate, I'm not too sure, correct me in the comments, and they were made to answer why they censored valid concerns about the jab and lockdown measures by qualified doctors, experts in the medical field who had their voices silenced because it didn't go with the agenda. And they were also made to answer questions about their election interference, which they did do. Now, it's no big secret that all the top social media platforms are run by the woke types, hipsters, people who they love to dabble in censorship. There's a dash of Marxism within them. And it's all left-wing crap. It really is, that these people are pushing and you're allowed to push on social media. Thankfully, Elon Musk has taken over Twitter, so free speech reigns there once again. And we need the same thing on here, on YouTube. YouTube needs reform, root and stem. Because what I'm about to tell you should shock you, and it should be the main news on the mainstream media in every free and democratic society on earth. Now, there's an MP called Andrew Bridgen. He was a Tory MP, Conservative. He was chucked out the party. He's now an independent, I do believe. Again, if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. But he was ostracised in Parliament because he asked valid questions and concerns about the jab. Now, you all know what I'm talking about when I say jab, because if I say the real word, then my channel will be censored, and that's a shame, isn't it? And people who once pushed the jab are crawling out of the woodwork to save face and get with the programme because of what's obviously happening around the world. Again, I can't go into detail because it's YouTube. And so yesterday, Andrew Bridgen gave a speech in Parliament. Andrew Bridgen, a democratically elected politician, and that speech was given in the chamber of the House of Commons and responded to by a government minister. And the title of that speech, of that agenda, was the efficacy of the jab, and words to that effect. Again, I can't give you the real words here and their meaning, but you know what I mean. And in that speech, he calls for an end to the jab and a full public inquiry into how every agency failed to protect the public. Again, not conspiracy stuff. These are valid questions and concerns given to MP Andrew Bridgen, a democratically elected politician by people qualified in the medical field. So as the left always bleat on, trust the experts. And so Andrew Bridgen did his speech and he posted it onto his YouTube channel. YouTube then removed that video, and the reason was the video had been removed for violating YouTube's community guidelines, for heaven's sake. Now, exactly what community guideline was broken in posting a full speech and government response to that speech without amendment or comment in the UK's legislative chamber? And we all know why YouTube removed this, by the way. Because YouTube and the people who run YouTube, this platform, are on the side of the jabbers. Now, this is absolutely disgusting. There are worse content on YouTube that should be really taken off. There's violent stuff. It's horrendous. And it's completely wrong. And why they target Andrew Bridgen to have his video removed is quite telling, really. And it's interesting to note, while he did this speech, Parliament chamber was nearly empty. And when he started it, members of Parliament stood up and you could see them telling each other to leave the chamber so no one would listen to him. How disgraceful is that? And as far as I'm concerned, Andrew Bridgen asked a real valid question and concern regarding that of which we are not allowed to speak of. And he was effectively silenced. It's disgraceful. YouTube needs reform, root and stem. It needs an Elon Musk-style takeover. Otherwise, the people who own YouTube, Google, they will find themselves, hopefully, in front of a US Select Committee answering for why the hell they are behaving like this. And you may be a YouTube partner when you're monetized, but it's a one-way partnership. It is an absolute miracle all my videos are monetized. And that is because, having learned from my last channel, you have to be careful about the words you use in your video and your titles. I just keep my face off screen, and not because I'm extremely ugly, but because it helps the algorithm, and I only ever have one photo up the whole time rather than a montage. So any YouTubers on there, that's a helpful tip for you there. So there we go, a democratically elected member of British Parliament removed from YouTube for violating, it wasn't a guideline, was it? Somebody who's pro-jab in YouTube didn't like his speech, knows who he is, took it off immediately. That's the truth. That's the whole truth right there. There's no beating around the bush about it. That's what's happened, and it needs to stop. I appreciate YouTube is a private business, and as the lefties say, it's a private business. They can do what they want. They can censor who they like. But remember, these are the same people who had a massive cry when Elon Musk took over and reinstated people on the right on Twitter and started banning members of the left-wing mainstream media from their accounts because they were activists rather than journalists, and rightly so. Anyway, that's my video. That's my tuppence. Hope you like. Please let me know what you think in the comments. And until the next time, have a great weekend, and Roger Trouticles.